Masterclasses like this are important for several reasons, really. One, they bring together like-minded people who ordinarily wouldn't cross paths. And secondly, they allow you to be exposed to really what's the latest and greatest in the field. And it's all too easy as clinicians to be stuck in a silo and be doing what you've been doing for the last 20 years. And this just opens up your mind, as well as teaching you new things. You learn about management of patients that you may not consider yourself. The level of testing in the UK is improving, but it's still got a long way to go. The issue is that technology has moved faster than clinicians have been able to keep up with. So the setup, the infrastructure is not really allowed and accommodated for the fact that we have new technologies that are available. The classic exemplifier of that is most of our testing is still done in what we call the laboratory basis. So the patient goes away from the clinical room into a laboratory, and that's where they get their testing done. What we now have is a paradigm shift, and that shift allows you to bring the technology to the person rather than the other way around. So the way that these new technologies can really radically change the way we do things in the NHS is that we can streamline our services. So, for example, in my own practice, I have the video head impulse test available to me in the first clinic appointment, and every dizzy patient gets that test done. And it allows me to triage through those patients and work out who actually needs to go on to have further full laboratory testing and who I can simply diagnose at that point. It's good for the patient because they get a diagnosis sooner, therefore their management starts sooner. It's good for the NHS because it cuts down on referrals and the testing time that's needed. And it's also good for the audiologist because they get to do the testing on people who really need to have that testing done, rather than their clinic's been clogged up by patients who actually can be screened out fairly quickly. I think that this is a huge international masterclass with 40 people means that the message is getting out there, that the vestibular system can't be ignored. It's something which has for so long been the poor cousin of the hearing loss colleagues of ours who deal with cochlear and conductive losses. The balance disorders have been put away to one side because we haven't traditionally known how to test them and therefore not known how to manage them. We're now in a situation where we can assess all 5 parts of the inner ear in terms of its balance function. And this is an exciting time. And the word is spreading that we need to all learn more about this. I think for me, out of this masterclass, the 2 take-home messages are: one, that the video head impulse test is now here to stay. It's sort of identified itself as probably the key test to do at initial assessment. So it's been good to talk to experienced colleagues who have been using the test on an everyday basis. But it's also exciting to know that there are other things coming around the corner. The SHIMP test, as it was described, is fascinating. Not only can we now identify when we have a very small deficit, we can actually now work out when there is a very small residual function remaining, which is equally important. So far, we always concentrate on the patients to say, have you got something wrong with them? This turns it around to its head and says, maybe we can tell you you've got something right with you.